Hi, this is Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, we are going to talk about comparing a Lincoln Heritage $10,000 policy for females age 80 to 85 years old. Going to specifically talk about 4 topics. Does Lincoln Heritage offer the best plan and pricing? Is the Funeral Consumer Guardian Society worth paying extra for? Does Lincoln Heritage pay out in 24 hours? And if you have a Lincoln Heritage plan, should you replace it? I can be reached at funeralfunds.com. This is our YouTube address, and my direct phone number is 888-862-9456. So this is a quoting tool that we use. We like it because it's very quick and it's very accurate. So we've got $10,000 for a female in Texas. If you lived in a different state, we would just change the state here. Not all the different insurance companies are available in all states. And came up with a birthday here to give us an age of 80. Click the Get Quote button. And then what we do is we just scroll down and we see here, Standard Life, they're coming in at $91.90. This is their level plan, which level means first day coverage. That's exactly what you want. You never want to settle for a 2-year waiting period plan if you don't have to. But let's go hunt down Lincoln Heritage and see how they compare to right around $90. So we're going to scroll on down. And again, you'll see the company's pricing starts to go up. You know, maybe you don't qualify for based off health or height and weight or something like that for one of these other companies, but you do here, you know. So in that case, you know, if you don't qualify 100, you certainly go for the 104. So the lowest price isn't always going to be the one that you qualify for. But let's take a look. We know we're roughly around $90. We scroll down here. We're already $120. No Lincoln Heritage in sight. We're at $140 now. Scroll down some more here. And here we go. There we go. Lincoln Heritage, $145 for the same $10,000 worth of coverage. And it is level coverage. That's great. That's exactly what you want. The $145 is not great, almost $55 more. Let's take a look. So I created this spreadsheet just to show you the price differences and kind of how much extra you may pay or not pay by going with specific companies. So we've got a non-smoker female, age 80, $10,000 here. And remember, the lowest cost was $91.90. Lincoln Heritage came in at $145. So with Lincoln Heritage, they're going to overcharge you $51. Or if you go with a lesser price company, you are going to save about $53. So Lincoln Heritage, in this case for an 80-year-old female, is roughly 36% more. Now, if you're 81, 82, 3, just kind of look at the numbers across, and that'll give you a good idea too. Now, one thing we took a look at is we said, hey, well, maybe you're happy and maybe you're okay paying $145. I mean, that fits in your budget, but you would like to get more coverage than $10,000. Well, if you go with Lincoln Heritage, you will only get $10,000 for $145. If you go with another company, you could get and applied that $145 into this one instead of $91. What you would actually get is $13,933. So you're getting almost $4,000 more coverage by just applying the same amount of premium here over here. So a lot of times people would look at these two companies and go, well, you know, man, I know inflation happens and pricing goes up over the years. You know, why would I settle for $10,000 when I can get almost $14,000? So wise decision in our opinion. People that we help, seniors, they need to save money or they want to keep their money because they'd rather put food on their plates than give it to the insurance company. So let's take a look here. So you're going to be overpaying $53 a month. So after 1 year, you would have overpaid $637. If you live 10 years to age 90, you have overpaid $6,379 on a $10,000 policy. 15 years, $9,568. After 20 years, let's say you are blessed to make it to 100 years old, you would have overpaid $12,784 by going with Lincoln Heritage on a $10,000 policy. So once people see the math, they kind of appreciate the lower rates just a little bit better because it does get quite expensive over time. Now, Lincoln Heritage will tell you that they've got the Funeral Consumer Guardian Society, and what they do is they'll kind of take care of some things for you, supposedly. Maybe call a few different places, make sure you get kind of best prices and stuff like that. They may get you best prices, but you know, you're paying quite a bit more for the policy to get those best prices. So I did some math on here and I said, well, if they spend 3 hours working for you on your behalf, but you've overpaid them. How much are they actually getting paid? Well, after 10 years, if we just divide the 6,379 by 3, you'd be paying them the equivalent of $2,126 per hour. Ouch, right? If you live 15 years, you'll be paying them the equivalent of $3,189 an hour. If you live 20 years, you'll be paying them the equivalent of $4,252 just based off the overage that you've paid over the years. So from that standpoint, boy, it's difficult to make sense of those numbers when you could, if you just got more coverage here, you could find somebody in your family that said, hey, would you mind taking care of these things for us and I'll compensate you out of the life insurance benefits? And they would probably say, yeah. So one thing that we've done is we've created a free funeral and estate planning guide. If you go to our website, it's right here. You can just click on it. You click the download button right now and you download this and print it out. And it will walk you through pretty much everything that's going to occur after your death. And just make sure that all your wishes are taken care of, all your assets are dispersed to the proper people, and that everybody knows where everything is. And that way, it's just a wonderful gift to leave behind for your loved ones, that they don't have to struggle and toil and just figure out and kind of deconstruct where a lifetime of memories and valuable assets and mementos are going to go after your death. So we've covered the first two. Does Lincoln Heritage offer the best plan and pricing? And is the Funeral Consumer Guardian Society worth paying extra for? Let's jump into, does Lincoln Heritage pay out in 24 hours? Here we are on Lincoln Heritage's website. Let's scroll down a little bit. They've got some information to address the 24 hours. And it says Lincoln Heritage sends money to your beneficiary as quickly as possible. And we get a lot of folks approach us and say, hey, Lincoln Heritage said that they would pay out in 24 hours. Not sure where that information is coming from. It's not coming from the website. Lincoln Heritage sends the money to your beneficiary as quickly as possible. Not too reassuring that's going to be in 24 hours. Then they say most claims are paid within 24 hours of a claim approval. Notice that one most important word, most. Most claims are paid in 24 hours of a claim approval. Now the claim's got to be approved. That's the other important part, claim approval. So if grandma died yesterday, you're not getting the check today. What else is Lincoln Heritage or any other insurance company going to need? They're going to need a death certificate. They're going to need some paperwork filled out and things like that. So the death certificates can take a few days to up to weeks, perhaps. As we scroll down a little bit here, we also see it says what you get with Funeral Advantage is approved claims paid in 24 hours. Again, approved claims, not claims approved. Okay. And then it says of the competition, right? What you get with other final expense plans, checks can take weeks or months for your family. Well, that's going to be the same thing over here with Funeral Advantage. If you die in the first 2 years, Lincoln Heritage has the right to go back and review your request for coverage and application to make sure that there's no inaccuracies or you didn't lie or, you didn't conceal any medical issues or anything like that. So they do have the ability to check that out. And that's not going to get paid out in 24 hours typically. Once you get beyond 2 years, typically much better scenario there. So just be aware of that. Let's get to our last topic here. If you have a Lincoln Heritage plan, should you replace it? Well, let's take a look. You're paying $145 here at age 80. You could be 85 years old and still save roughly over $20 a month by going with a different insurance company and getting it at $122. So typically, most insurance companies, once you get into the years 3, 4, 5, we'd have to really look at the numbers and see if it makes sense, and then also kind of factor in the contestability period, whether we want to get a new policy or anything like that. But if it's a significant enough savings, heck yeah, you should do it because, think about this. If you do live to age 100, this is 80 years old, 20 years, you're going to save a lot of money. You're going to, you will have overpaid $12,758. So if you've got a policy from a really expensive insurance company in the last year or two, yeah, typically you need to replace that and save that money, or just get more coverage because you're going to need more coverage because inflation just keeps going up and up and up and up. Last thing here is, did some research on potential concerns or disadvantages of Funeral Consumer Guardian Society. We did some internet research. We just listed some of the things you might want to take a look at. I'm not going to pause the video or anything or talk about it, but if you want to see those, just pause it and you can read that. But hey, if you need some help with this, just reach out to us, funeralfunds.com. Our direct number is 888-862-9456. And we look forward to, at some point in the future, chatting with you and being of service and benefit to you. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.